Alright. I've got this cool overlay I made that's talking with Jumpskillz. Extra fancy. Alright, we'll do BM after, and I'll ping everyone to ask you BM questions. And then maybe they'll pile up in the meantime.
Sounds good.
Alright, Dungeon Ease tier list. So this is actually last week's, because I never did it. So I was going to do like looking back, or I could snag the new ones real quick before we start.
I don't know if they're going to have enough data for the new ones to be accurate, since the servers have been up for an hour.
Well, it would just be the last time. But I guess that'd be weird because the balance would be different. Yeah, let's just look back, because there was a couple interesting things, actually. So, I guess court being easy isn't that interesting. I did my first 22 of the season. Was a court I healed last week. It was kind of good.
An easy key?
This was last week.
Yeah.
The Tyrant. Oh, yeah. I mean, the second boss is kind of scary. It was like a sub 2-minute boss, so I think it was easy to heal, but if it went farther, I was scared. I don't know. You guys think court's kind of easy?
Yeah, I mean, even on Drand, just save less for that and burn that boss, second boss as quick as possible.
Yeah. I'm going to turn Discord up and then lower everyone except for Jump. I want to make sure I can hear him. Alright, we good. Naowh last week was kind of meh. I don't really like Sanguine in there just because like it's very open, but it's also like hard because there's so many high target pulls that like also some of them stand around and have different health pools, so it's like I don't know, Sanguine was kind of weird in there.
Yeah, lots of non-interruptible casts from CC immune targets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Warrior, I'm of course running, interrupting shadow on that. We ran a 20 on that and timed it a little bit. It was still kind of sketchy in some spots, but Warrior is kind of broken on that dungeon just because they can do so many spell reflect things on
that's
win
true.
boss and last boss.
Especially Tyrannical, yeah, you get so much damage on that boss.
Yeah, I was doing like my spell reflects on win boss were doing like 400k a piece.
Dang, that's a pretty good BM boss too, right, Jump? Because you can like run around and get all the orbs pretty easily.
Yeah, it's really good for BM. Our problem with that boss is that if we get too far chasing the balls, if we have like an evoker or a paladin, it's kind of hard for them to heal us.
Oh, so that's true.
It gets really sketchy if you go just chasing, if you know what I mean.
You kind of want to like finesse more and like just get the refresh in melee. Dude, I always try to be ethical on that boss, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like, I'm gonna just get the refresh, let the orb come to me, and then some fucking person will like blink through and steal my orb, and I'm like, damn it.
Right.
Just like, I was trying to be like ethical. Fucking people. Especially and it's like not even healing. Yeah. Dude, yo, I'm a monster. Like when I'm healing that, I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm overcapping every stack. I'm like, nah. And then once I get my 10 stack, I'm chilling. But like the first 30 seconds of that fight, I'm like, elbow people down.
I guess since this is a podcast, if nobody knows on win boss that's running Prot Warrior, if you move back from the boss, he's going to start casting something on you, win something or other. I forget the name of it, but you just move out of melee range from him. He'll start casting it on you. You spell reflect it and just walk back in. It's like seriously, it's like 400k. It's worth it to do it every time.
I think it scales with the orbs too. It's fucking nice. Don't do it if you're not. It's also important to know if you're not a Prot Warrior though, because I see a lot of like tanks and lower keys trying to get the orbs and they outrange the boss and they'll take like 6 of those bolts and like, dude, it's really sus. Like you should not be doing that. Like I changed it on my plater to be like a different name and color, so like if I ever see it, like the best thing to do is type in party like please don't outrange boss. Like that's the easiest way to heal that fight, is to type that. Like don't try to heal that mechanic. Just immediately tell the tank like wait stop. I don't know.
Please don't, sir.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but for Court of Stars, there's a weakaura for the last room and stuff like that Naowh linked.
I just used it today.
It saves so much time.
I'll put it in my Discord too, if anyone needs.
Plus Court of Stars. Once again, if Prot Paladin, just solo the imps. Tell your team to stay back and just solo the imps.
Prot Paladin, or you mean Prot Warrior?
No, Prot Warrior. That's what I meant.
Yeah, that reflect is sick. If you just charge in because they're all synced up. But what, it gets fucked up if we attack first?
Yeah.
So you just have to make sure you're the only target, right?
Yeah, if you pretty much just tell everybody to stand back and just run in, spell reflect as soon as they start casting, just spell reflect, and then everybody can come in and start hitting stuff.
Word. Nice. Azure Vault, dude, Azure Vault has grown on me so much. And especially like with some of the MDI shit, like with all the jumping around and snaps, like I don't know, I think it's such a cool dungeon.
Yeah, I love that dungeon
because
it's got different routes you can take. Like most of the dungeons this season have very strict routes. That dungeon I think has the best multiple routing situations.
True, it is one of the keys where like you always kind of are like, all right, what are we doing? Like, what is this tank gonna do if it's a pug, or like if it's one of your friends? You like, what was the route? Kind of cool.
It's easily one of my favorite dungeons because if you're ranged, you're just having a field day, just cleaving off ads left and right. Nightmare for melee though, but it's so much fun for range.
True. Yeah, it's a really fun key. A lot of big pulls. A lot of good
My bad.
No, go ahead.
Only problem with that dungeon is just the sanguine. Is not a good sanguine place to be.
True. I think second boss is like the most annoying part. Wait, is it second boss? The Azure Blade? Yeah, second. Just that ad. I like playing with the DK though. Like Simp always grips that in like instantly, and it's like perfect. But I don't know. It's kind of a weird fight if you don't have like good swapping classes. I think BM's probably like perfect for that fight. Although, and this is maybe, yeah, we could kind of just have no structure. We could talk about whatever. We don't have to talk about like last week. But I was gonna ask BM Hunter. So like, do you have like mouse over macros to not change your target because of the bow, or do you have to like play around that a lot? Or like when you switch to that ad on Azure Blade, like do you like hate doing that because you lose your stack or something, or is it not that big a deal?
So personally, I don't use the mouse over macro thing because I've missed so many interrupts doing that type of stuff.
Got you.
So I'm usually just old school. If I have to switch, I'll switch. Not if I have to lose the 5 stacks, then it just is what it is.
Because it comes back within 5 attacks, so it's like it's not the end of the world. And it's passive, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I was thinking about that. I was wondering if hunters have to min max around it, but not too bad. How are you? Yeah, go ahead.
Most do. They usually, like I think, what's his name? The guy that Bansher or big time hunters like that, they usually use mouse over macros and stuff like that.
So they'd like keep their auto attack on the boss and then like mouse over kill command, mouse over barb shot kind of deal, and just like keep their main target, I guess. Yeah,
it's definitely ideal to do it if you want to, like you said, mid max the damage.
Well, that's cool. Okay, so going back to the dungeons. Ruby, I kind of like don't like Ruby life pools anymore. There's like the one fun pool in the beginning, and then the rest is like, eh. How do you guys feel?
Just got to start MDI pulling it, right?
Yes.
Pull everything on the first boss, and then pull double flame guys up top together.
Yo, what if we like shroud and do that mini boss guy first, and then pull a bunch of trash onto the boss? I don't want to pull that mini boss onto the boss. I feel like that's so weird. As a tank.
No, he's dangerous. The reason they do it in the MDI because they can keep him alive, and he's something to kill while the RP's happening. Yeah.
That's so wild to me. That's such a huge. I don't know. Maybe he's not that scary, but he seems very scary. Like to tank that mob for the entire boss fight, as well as like tanking that boss.
It's unfair because it's Paladin. Like they were doing it with Paladin, which is just kind of unfair on that boss.
Yeah, gotcha. I think the only really scary part of we're talking about last boss or RLP, right?
No, first boss.
First.
Oh, first boss. Depends on how long the thing's alive. You like if he's still alive during whelp phase, it can get a little sticky, but that's just the nature of high level key play at the MDI. People don't get hit by stuff and know how to move. But yeah, I mean that mini boss is probably some of the least efficient percent in the dungeon.
Everyone's starting to go to the fire mini boss as well, depending on your comp. Because that lightning boss, man.
Oh, the dragon?
Yes, for Ruby Life.
Dang. Yeah, I haven't played the fire one in a while, but really? That's fucking crazy. I guess if you, like, save CDs for when he... Because what, he at 50% he starts pulsing damage, I think? So as long as you don't, like, blow all your CDs on him on pull, and then, like, have that phase last too long, maybe? But, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the main problem is that, you know, like, you pull him right after boss, and your CDs may not necessarily be up. But yeah, the fire... I think both the dragons start pulsing at 50%. I know fire definitely does.
Yeah, I think
no, it
fire's
probably
the
wouldn't pull
pulse, and
him.
then the lightning's just that debuff, which can be so bad.
I would think you wouldn't pull him right after boss. You would wait and skip lightning dragon, go around his side, and then come back around and get him after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually people wait for Lust to come back after using it the first pull and go straight to the fire dragons in hierarchy. But it just depends on the healer that you have.
Yeah, like if it's a ramping healer, I would definitely not go right to lightning. But if you have like a reactionary healer that can spot heal very well and doesn't have, you know, a couple of GCDs to set up to get really high healing throughput, like this priest, then you're fine.
Yeah, it'd probably be a fun, like, Resto Druid pull. As long as it doesn't last too long.
Yeah, Resto Shaman too. Mistweaver is probably really good at it too, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Alright, Halls. Yo, Halls was D tier. I'm kind of ignoring, like, the tier list. I'm kind of just talking about the dungeons with you guys. I think that's more fun. But, yo, Halls has been growing on me a lot. Let me see if I can... Oh, no, I can't pull up the VOD because I'm still streaming it. Dang. I just did a 16 Halls on my warrior, and, like, there's some pulls in there that... So fun. I've been doing that, like, whole wing. Basically, the Herja wing. You know,
You do everything before the two mini bosses that have Herja's abilities?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so including the beam aspirant jumper guy. So there's, like, the caster that does the swirlies, which all you do is kick, so it's, like, free. And then there's the jumper and the beam. It's just, like, the one guy that jumps and beams. And then everything else just, like, swings at the tank, but you could dodge it. Like, I think everything you could dodge there. So you just kind of kite around in a circle. And people blast. Like, that'd be a sick BM pull, because you have the prio target as, like, either the caster or the jumper, and then you just fucking cleave the shit out of everything. Keep a tar trap down, bind him, whatever, you know? I think Halls is really cool.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about Halls is people are too conservative with their pulls, and then the timer gets too tight, or you keep doing single pack pulls when you can combine a lot of them, and then you end up missing the timer. That's happened to me quite a few times. Like, the tank is just too conservative.
I mean, the only pull I hate in there on Sanguine Weeks is, of course, the pull before going into Wolfwing, because that stupid little pull in the hallway right there is just, it loves to just sit in Sanguine.
Yeah, see, so that's a thing that people don't do anywhere near enough in that dungeon. Is you could literally just snap that pull to the other side of the portal if you wanted to.
Yeah, I kind of want to start doing that. Yeah.
And, like, nobody does it.
Dude, is there a way... Sorry to... This is not related. Is there a way to, like, look at your VOD while you're still streaming that same stream, or no? I swear there is, but...
Yeah, you can just go into, like, the channel producer thing on a different tab. Are you talking about the VOD of your current stream?
Yeah.
It's
like,
not going to be viewable unless you restart your stream.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, never mind. That's fine. Look at it later. Yeah, no, I definitely want to... I'm down to start snapping that shit through if we're all in Discord. I killed Simp and Dark Nova trying to test if you could do it, and you can, in fact, do it.
Yeah. I think even on non-Sanguine Weeks, it's just easier to snap through anyway.
Yeah, there's no real reason not to. And it's just, especially if you don't pull the pat, because otherwise you're fighting near him. And it's always awkward.
You can face pull the pat, you can face pull the other pack when you don't want to, or early. Like, especially if the archer jumps in an unfavorable position.
Yeah, I just tabbed over to my pug route. So my new Halls thing is I have a pug route and a skip route. and they're pretty much the same, except my skip route. I like even more. I think I did this with you once. DB maybe. I don't know. But you skip this caster pack over here, and you just go straight up to the Gigapole.
Yeah, so you just mind soothe through, or Invispod, or Shroud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if you can mind soothe. I want to test if you can. You might be able to.
You should be able to, because if you can mind soothe the two guys and go in the doorway up the bridge, then you should be able to mind soothe and just run down the middle.
Yeah, I think you just gotta soothe both sides to do it.
Maybe like a ring para for safety on the other side too. Yeah, I want to test that out. Next like low halls we have, I'm down. And then over here, yeah, I wish I could pull. I almost want to restart my stream, but I just literally pinged my entire Discord server, so I don't think now's a good time. But it was very fun. This bear pull, dude, I think it was 2 shamans. So one of them had Earthbind down, and I had the speed boost from the wolf, and I literally just ran circles around here thunderclapping and revenging or whatever. And like the mobs didn't move and they didn't even touch me. And everyone was like popping off. And we 2-chested the halls. It was only a 16, but I haven't 2-chested the halls in a minute.
That's huge, especially for halls, man. That dungeon is very unforgiving, especially if you wipe once. Like everyone's just down about it, and they're just like, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, people give up on halls. But, I mean, yeah, halls, especially in the beginning of the patch, like, how many times were we just, like, end of the night in this last area of halls, just, like, wiping the fucking boss? Like, do we have to finish this? I've definitely said, do we have to finish this? Probably in halls more than any dungeon.
Yeah, dude, don't trigger my PTSD.
Yeah, cool. Alright, I'm gonna tab back over to the dungeon list. So TJS and Algathar we have left to talk about. I kind of hate Temple. How do you guys feel about it?
I don't hate it. I think it's some of the pulls in there are the most volatile pulls in the game, just because especially for tanks, just because of those freaking Shahs are just terrible. But I think all in all, it's a fun dungeon. Just those two, the pulls with any of the Shahs in it can easily go south real quick.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah, let's look at actually, I'm gonna pull up Temple on my thing. Tab back into the game. I don't know whose route this is. I'm just making a new one. But yeah, Temple. So it's these Shahs. They do a haunting thing, which is the fear, and then... Alright, so Haunting Scream is the kick that fears everyone, and then Haunting Gaze is the one that punches the tank in the head, right?
Yeah.
So it is stunnable, but it's like really hard to do it. Like I try, but like I can't DB it on my mage, but I have gouged it like in cat form on my druid. It's rough though, yeah. These guys hurt. Definitely want to like limit the amount of Shahs.
I think, like, especially in the last area where they're at, people forget to, like, a lot of pugs don't focus those guys down, or the other one down, because the other one's the one that'll claw you if the tank's not next to it, so the tank can't kite at that point.
That's the Shah, yeah.
Yeah, so...
The Haunting Shahs can't be kited. The Dark Claw ones, you can kite. So basically you want to, like, nuke down the Haunting Shah, the one that you have to kick, like you want to kill that, and then once that's dead, then the tank doesn't have to tank to pull anymore. So like once it's just the minions of doubt, then you just like slow them and run and try to dodge the breath from the guy. But those, while you do have the Haunting Shah up, those Dark Claw guys are so fucking dangerous because like there's just so many of them.
Yeah, and if the tank outranges them, they're gonna target somebody else and just murder them immediately.
No, the Dark Claws won't, I don't think. Only the Shah. So like
the Shah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So like you just gotta nuke him. But that's why he kind of makes it so the other ones can't be kited. So like you usually want to CC the one. I'm a fan of CCing like 2 doubts, honestly, unless you need time to make it free. I'm bolstering. This might be weird. Oh, Temple bolstering sucks actually.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible this week because
that
that dude in that pack is just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still to this day do not know who, when they were adding stuff to this dungeon, was like, yeah, let's just add a bunch of the stuff that nobody likes.
Yeah, that the big boy in the last pull is going to be the actual last boss of the dungeon. Don't care what anybody says.
Damn, yeah. And then our last dungeon, algaes, which we just ran, which I think the most notable thing is like these foragers. Like I think you just pull them. So like look at their health. Let's see. 5.5 mil on a 20. Why is it set to 25? What the fuck? Right,
That
so
place is rough, man.
Yeah.
Like the battle axe kills tanks so easily.
Yeah. Oh, that's the main thing actually. Refresh my Tusk.
Go dwarf.
Yeah, that or just
Sure.
stun it or prio it. But like if that's hitting the tank, like it's already almost like too late. Like, all right. So let's see. He's got 4.7. These have 4.3. So the battle axes have a little bit more than the ones they're next to. So they're like you really have to put your main damage into them because they always end up at 20% with 5 bolstered, and then they kill your tank. And everyone's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Damn,
But if everyone just puts their prio into it, it'll like level that out and they'll die evenly. But like people just aren't paying attention. That's why like on my plater, like these jumpers are like white or gray, and then like these ones are different colors. So I just always know going into the pull, like if say if I'm playing like BM and I'm trying to keep my stacks up, like that's my target is the battle axe, and then like he'll die first. Or like I was trying to ice lance him in the last pull. I think they usually died first, but I was like sweating trying to lance him every time. But that's a good way to help.
It would help a lot too if there's like multiple stunts on the battle axe, especially bolstering, because those are like mini bosses, especially when they're bolstered and everything.
Yeah.
And
For
then
sure.
after the boss on Vex, like people usually just jump off the bridge and just wipe and just go to the last boss.
Yeah, that bridge pack is a no pull for sure this week.
Yeah.
Yo, you know who loves this pack is Simp. He always wants me to pull this pack.
Yeah, that
I don't
pack
like
is
I don't
it's
like
got
it. It's not
multiple
that
battle
bad.
axes in it. It will literally murder you this week.
It's like not that bad. It's just like the worst pack. Like that's how I feel about it. But he's always like, he feels very strongly that we should pull this. I don't really care. Like I could do it and I'm not gonna die, but like it's the most dangerous pull, I think. It's like over here can get a little sus, but barely. But yeah, I think the main thing here is like if you're killing a Ravager, like don't pull anything with it unless it's like 30%.
Yeah,
Because like you could bolster, because say you put 1 bolstering stack on all 6 foragers, that's not a big deal. But if you put 6 bolstering stacks on 1 Ravager, like that's a really big deal because it'll jump and just kill people. And you're out of your fucking mind if you think people are gonna like not cleave the. I'm putting a blizzard down. I don't care. I gotta get my orb back.
By chance, what tank do you play? Do you play Pally, Warrior, Bear?
Me
Hey,
or Drand?
I'm playing Warrior and I'm bringing up the Pally right now because Pally is just too freaking good not to play.
Yeah.
Was playing Monk as well. I'm still playing Monk, but just it's kind of on the back burner for a second.
Word. Yeah, I play Bear on like the hierarchies that I've tanked, and then I have Warrior, but I really only do like 16s, 18s because he's like 400 item level or whatever. But I kind of wanted to play him just so I like know what all the tanks are doing when I'm healing them or whatever. I like to have like alt of like the meta, a few of the meta specs at least, so I know. But it's pretty fun.
That last run kind of showed the power of Pally. Like it was an 18. I'm 393 eye level and literally only died to stuff that was kind of BS.
Mm-hmm.
Like the storming and the swirly.
True. Just
And
like
then the
regular.
wipe on the second boss was the
Yeah.
only times I died in there.
Nice. Yeah, Paladin's kind of strong.
It-
I mean, I don't really understand. So what did they change anything, or did people just realize that Paladin's strong?
It just has
I don't get
something
it.
for every situation. Like it has a cooldown for every situation.
But is that like
Sentinel
new?
got
don't
well,
get it.
Sentinel did get a little bit of an upgrade, which made it so much better.
Like in the last month? Like I don't understand. I feel like
Yeah.
everyone started playing. Oh, they like literally just changed it.
Yeah, it was something that changed with
The talent
all the
tree.
changes in 10.0.7.
Mm.
And it literally like makes it to where you starter pull with Sentinel, then go into like Ardent Defender, then Guardian Ancient Kings if you need, if the pull's still alive, and then maybe Bop if the pull's still alive, and then by that time, Sentinel's back up again.
Yeah, which brings us, let me start with the tank tier list. So this is for this week. Alright, so everything except for the dungeon tier is for this week. No, is it? No. Alright, it's all old, but my affix thing is wrong. Yo, this is the most scuffed fucking podcast. Alright. I have a decision to make. Turn off the affixes. Okay, cool. So, this was the last past week, but this is the first time that Warriors not like one of the top ones and not like in S tier. I didn't realize. It's all Paladins. Right? Or is this April Fool's?
In terms of Paladins being at the top?
Well, it says Paladins S, and then DH, and then Brew, and then Proud Warrior, Blood Decay, and then Bears all the way at the bottom in C.
And I still think Prot Warrior is probably A tier.
Yeah, I think it's better than DH, unless there's something going on, but I don't know. The other thing is these lists, like, are for 22 to 28s. So I don't really run, so like I don't really know what's going on.
I guess they could be
22s,
saying
but not
in
really.
Sanguine, Warrior really doesn't have a way to get stuff out of Sanguine.
That's true. Oh yeah, I guess just having Ring of Peace kind of puts Brew very high up.
And then yeah, Grip Sigil on the DH too.
True. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yo, Bear is pretty sick though for Typhoon. Like I feel like I was tanking some keys pretty easily. Like a lot of Sanguine control, like compared to some keys I was pugging, like Paladin's just standing in Sanguine for like the duration of the Sanguine and shit. Like I don't know. That's why I don't know. I want to start making different lists for like just the keys that we do, because it feels weird kind of talking about these lists because I don't do those keys. But anyway,
Paladin on S tier is definitely very true. I don't see much Warrior tanks in 22s or higher, to be honest with you. Because I just, no offense to them, like they don't bring real value compared to a Pally tank. Because Pallies cannot battle res and they can interrupt a whole pool.
Yeah, I just remembered. So how much of this is because Ret Aura is bugged as well? Because from what I understand, it's still bugged where if you log out with Red Aura and you come back on, like it'll be up 100% of the time, not like the way it's designed. So pretty much like any tank that's doing like a hard key, if you're not playing Paladin, like you're just fucking your group's damage because you could be having that 5% buff like for the whole time instead of just sometimes. So like I don't know. I think Paladin's definitely sick, but like if Warrior gave your entire group 5% more damage for the entire key, like they'd probably, I don't know. I feel like that's fucking with the numbers a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, it is. Besides Pallies, like I don't see Demon Hunters, Monks, Warriors, DK. Like it's so rare seeing those guys.
Right. And so are you like mostly pugging, or do you have like a crew that you run with sometimes?
It's on and off.
Yeah.
Because I play really late hours.
True.
So people don't tend to push. People are usually tied around that time.
Yeah.
And then when I pug, then it's usually, if I do pug, it's very hard to get into pugs because people don't want to BM Hunter compared to a mage and a shaman.
Yeah. Though recently, and I wanted to ask you about this, it's been BM's pretty sick, especially after the HP buffs. I think the HP thing is kind of holding Hunters back quite a bit, but like I don't know. Have you been feeling like you get invited more like recently?
Not at all.
Oh shit.
I have a weakaura that counts how many times I got applied, declined, delisted, and stuff like that. I could definitely send you guys that, but
That's
it reached at one point reached to like 50 declines at one point because people don't want to BM Hunter.
I like BM. I think it's because I've played BM. Like I've kind of always had a BM Hunter like for the last two. I mean, even in BFA, like I had a BM Hunter. Like right now, mine's like 400. I don't really play it, but like I kind of know how. But I like them a lot. Like I feel like the damage profile is really cool. How they can kind of just pick one target and like do good damage 100% of the time. Like they just always have CDs. I don't know. They're good. Like they balance a group out.
Yeah, it does. It's just in higher keys, people want that shaman.
Mm-hmm.
They have so many stops, and I think they have a buff I'm not too familiar with for melee.
Wind Fury?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Shaman just brings so much, and if BM or any hunter spec's not absolutely broken, you just won't see him in high keys at all.
Yeah, and I guess at that level, people aren't really just looking for like, hey, I'll take a lust. They're like already, I want a fire mage. Like they're very like specific.
Yeah.
What they want. I mean, sometimes they'll even like put it in the title, like I want enhanced shaman.
Yes, it's crazy. It's everywhere, and now that evokers can lust, our job is
True.
definitely limited now.
Yo, BM. Okay, so I pretty much, especially when we first started playing with Prey at the end of season 4 or season 3, I don't remember. But so I like usually tank or heal, but Drand tanks and Prey heals. So I was kind of just like, I had to pick a DPS spec. So I was playing BM Hunter a lot. And like, first of all, I thought that misdirect works. I didn't realize that misdirect is like kind of a lie. So I'm already pissed about that. Because it's only your damage, it's not your pets. So like, it's still good. Like, you can misdirect snap, but it's not like big value. So I feel lied to. And then the second thing is Binding Shot was so fucking good. And then they gutted it. So it's like, Hunter's been on this roller coaster.
Yeah.
Of like, I feel like they've ended up in a good spot now, though.
Yeah, it's in a solid spot. Misdirect works for MM though, and the Binding Shot is just, it's gutted. So we don't bring value really.
Yeah, like it's still something to press, but man, it's sad. Like Binding used to be so fucking good. Like I don't know. I was looking at there was a clip on my channel of it was like Loraka playing as Boomy. He clipped it, and like someone was playing Hunter, and they bound in the Ardenweald wing of the other side when there was like 20 mobs, and I was tanking it, and the whole like 20 mob pack got rooted for like what 8 seconds or something. Like that's crazy. Insane. Like it definitely was too OP, but now that it just doesn't do shit, like I'm just sad.
It is.
Alright, let me tap over to healers. Yo, shaman at the top? I didn't expect that. There goes shaman, druid, and evoker are all A. Then HPEL, disc priest are B, or were B rather, because it's last week. And then holy and mystery are D. I didn't realize shaman had such a big rise last week. You've been seeing a lot of those in your keys jump?
Yeah, everyone's asking for them. If you go to a recruiting Discord for Mythic Plus groups, everyone's looking for a shaman right now because they do a lot of damage. They bring a lot of CCs and stuns to a high group, and you don't have to waste a battle res on them if they die as well.
That's true. That actually is huge. When I die on my shaman, I feel like a god. I'm like, nope, it's cool. I'm here. Res someone else.
Right.
Yeah, they do bring a lot. That thunderstorm knock up, I think it's like a 25-second CD. Such a nice stop. The cap totem, the slow totem. Yeah, they're really good. And they do so much damage too. DB's been playing his quite a bit. I know he's muted and deafened. I think he has a work meeting. He said he's gone for like 20 minutes or whatever, but he's been playing it a bit, and I think he's been enjoying it a lot.
And their interrupt is just so quick too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's another thing, is they can solo certain interrupts that usually require 2 melee kicks, which is just like so crazy. Like the constructs in Court of Stars, the like charging station heal. Shamans can just solo that completely, which frees up your group to kick a bunch of other stuff, and just it takes like a lot of pressure off the pulls. I love it.
Mixed with shaman, mixed with pally, DPS can just stop taking kicks in dungeons.
Yo, but my Boomy has cat kick and beam. How am I supposed to be useful? I'm just kidding. I'm a mage main now.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. My mage is... He hit 70 last week. I'm working on it, though. Yo, poor Holy Priest, Mistweaver. At least Holy Priest has disc,
bad rap.
Yeah, I think Mistweaver kind of owns. And DB just healed that 18 on... he has, like, no gear on that guy. I think he's, like, 380 or some shit.
Yeah, and he was healing an ungeared tank as well. So
yeah, exactly. It's like low healer, low tank, and an 18 fort bolster, so... Yeah, I mean, we did deplete, but I don't think it was because of that.
Yeah, I know.
But no, he was owning. And dude, Ring of Peace
not clearing
is so
thundering
good.
is what depleted us on that.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Mistweaver does get
But no,
a bad
Mistweaver
rap,
on the damage has great healing. The big problem with Mistweaver is they just don't have a big overall group cooldown they can use too well. So I think that's what hurts them the most.
And their externals kind of shit. Like, well, I mean, they have revival, but it's really long. But their cocoon, like, not really that good compared to Bark, because it's not like a percent DR. It's just like a bubble that, if you use it on a tank, it kind of breaks right away. I think. Use it on a DPS, I guess it's okay, but it's not like pain suppression or Iron Bark or, you know, whatever other healers have, like Guardian Spirit, Time Dilation. But I don't know. I think, and they also buff. They would buff Jumpskillz damage 5%. So that's pretty big, because the Mystic Touch physical damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they get a bad rap. I think they're good, especially in like 20s, like chill 20s, 22 range. Like, I think they're vibing. All right, let's go melee. Havoc and Sub-Rogue at S still. Dude, I haven't been seeing that many Havocs, but I hear they're amazing.
Yeah, that's just weird because they are so good right now.
They are. Like, everyone's looking for a Demon Hunter. The only problem with them is just when you're trying to clear and they're trying to dash to you. It
Oh my god.
It happened to me last night. We were doing a 25 halls first pull, and we needed to clear, and he dashed away from the healer on accident, and we wiped, and it was key.
Damn. That sucks. Yeah, they kind of make me nervous flopping around. Sub-Rogue's good. Yeah, Rogue is just so sick. Then all the way at the bottom, Serve Hunter and Frost DK. Yo, I feel like Frost DK is really good. I don't know. Maybe it's just a high key only thing, but Simp was blasting on Frost the other night.
I haven't seen a Frost DK at all. I never seen one performed only. Like, I literally have no idea what they do, to be honest with you, because I never see them.
Yeah, I don't know much about them, and I think probably like I feel like DK players are like hardcore. Like if you play DK, like you're good at all the specs probably. Like it's one of those classes, so like they'll probably just play on Holy if it's better. Kind of like how like Sin Rogue is really low, but only because like Sub's really good, or Outlaw or whatever. I don't know. I don't know shit about melee, so I don't want to say too much stuff.
Arms Warrior being at C is kind of crazy to me.
Really? Yeah, actually, I have seen some big ones.
Arm Warrior and Feral Druid is just, that doesn't seem right to me. I thought they'd be in the A tier.
Yeah, I think Feral should be an A. Arm's probably an A. I think even Ret should probably be an A because Ret just freaking blasts nowadays.
True.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're not C. There was a Red Pally that carried Mikey, just absolute insane damage.
Yeah, I've been kind of because I've been pugging a lot on my mage, like gearing them up and stuff. And whenever I see a ret alt, I always invite them. Like if they're like 2000 main and they're like 1k ret alt, I'm like, yep, get them. They're always doing so much damage. So funny. Might have to try that spec. Alright, let's see. Range tier.
Yeah, that was a Ret in the 18 we just did. doing
Oh,
84k overall.
Yep. He's pumping. Ranged here. Yo, Shadow's still on top. Dang. BM is in B with Destro Lock and Elemental Shaman. Dude, I think they're better than Ellie Shaman. But I haven't played Ellie, so I don't know.
There's just when the Ellie Shaman gets invited, they instantly get kicked for not being enhanced. I know.
True. They're higher on this list for people that didn't kick them in time.
Yeah.
That's scuffed data.
See, I get why Fire Mage is an A, but they just have to be pulled around so much. That's the problem. Fire Mage, you literally have to pull around their cooldown.
Yeah. I haven't played with one, really. I've been really vibing on Frost, though. I think Frost is really cool. But actually, I feel like it's like the BM Hunter of Mage. Because you pick, like, one target to lance, and then everything else just takes, like, decent damage pretty much all the time.
And
like,
Arcane's a survival hunter of Mage.
Arcane's oh, because it's all the way in F. I don't know how that class works. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's in the gutter. Yo, AF is F too? Yo, Dark was running AF the other night. And he was cranking, I thought. Demo's down there.
At the start of this year, everyone was looking for Arcane Mage because it was in every world first.
Yeah.
And now F is amazing to me.
Yeah. Maybe it's something to do with, like, as everyone else gets gear, they kind of outgear. I don't know. I don't know shit about Mage. I want to learn Fire, though.
It's the same thing as Fire, but worse because it's just completely like single target oriented and just cooldown dependent as hell.
I see. Word. Then Evoker's D. Yeah. It's, I mean, at least Evoker Healer has been OP like most of the expansion. It'd be sad if both of them were like bad. I don't know. They're just not too special. Like, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. So this is my cool Jumpskillz page I made that I have to tab to. Got your IO on and everything. Shiny.
Oh, I see it. I like it.
B-roll in the background and the affixes.
I like it.
So I was gonna ask you about the bow. Like, how early did you get the bow? And was it like, because you've been maining BM like the whole patch, right? Like, I know you play Fury Warrior, but that's like not a main, right?
Yeah, not a main as much anymore.
Or did you have to wait a while to get the bow?
Yeah, it took me a really long time.
Shit.
Like, it was bad. Like, I was getting kicked out of groups for not having the bow. Like, I was getting Shadowlands, PSD, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, in Shadowlands they'd kick you for being BM, right?
Yeah.
Being That's crazy.
It is. Well, it took me a while, man. Like, people were pugging, like, on reset day, and people were purposely not inviting hunters because hunters were creating their groups for the Rasbo and everything like that.
Right.
So
Oh my god. Yeah, so it's like the only groups that were being made were hunters making their own groups, so they weren't about to invite you.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Dude, what a iconic weapon.
Yeah, it was really bad. And I think Melee now have a weapon almost like as solid as it is for the next patch.
Oh, really? I haven't heard about it.
I don't know, to be honest with you, but I heard stuff about that. But
Damn.
it just sucks because there's other hunters out there that just could not get the bow for the life of them. I hear it about it every day.
Dude, yeah, like, so we're doing like 21s, 22s with Praise Hunter. He does not have the bow, and he's doing like great damage and everything. It's fine, like, but my hunter, which is like not even 400, I do the weekly heroic quest and I got the bow.
Oh wow.
And like, I don't even play it, and every time I log on I'm just like, this is so dumb, because like Prey would fucking like kill to have this, and I think someone in his raid got it before him, like just fair and square on a roll, but like they don't even really play that much, and he was like pissed. So yeah, definitely, it's very like, it's weird that you can't just buy it at this point. Like, there should be some way to get it. I don't know.
Yeah,
fun
I mean,
bow.
aren't they bringing something? Not exactly like that, but similar to that back in 10.1, where you can like upgrade the item if you already have it. You can't really buy it, but you can upgrade the lower level item
Oh
if you
yeah,
already
yeah,
have
yeah.
it to like a heroic or mythic version. If you kill so many bosses.
Oh,
Like
that's
if you
nice.
get the normal bow, like you could
Yeah,
upgrade it all the way to mythic as long as you've cleared like the relevant content and you get like some currency or whatever. But it sounds
I
like
think
that's gonna be really cool.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's gonna really help out people trying to get that specific item in at whatever level.
Yeah,
I'm just
for
not a
sure.
fan of it being a very rare, because you're just decreasing the odds of it dropping.
Oh, another thing I heard that they're doing is like they're gonna reduce the drop rate of the tier sets once the creation catalyst is out. Because they said like a lot of
They already did that for this patch.
Oh, they already did for now.
Yep,
Nice.
they
That's
did it
sick.
for this patch.
So that way, like
get
you
as
don't
many
get
of those
like
show up.
yeah, you don't get tier drops in raid as much, and instead you'll get things like the bow, which kind of neat. That was a cool change. I don't raid, so I don't know, but
Oh, I don't blame you. You're not missing much.
yeah, I might next time keep. Well, I don't know. They're making it like easier and easier not to, but sometimes it feels bad, like in the beginning of the patch, to not have as good gear as I could. Like, I feel like we were kind of slow getting into like 20s and stuff this season, and I probably could have, like, if I was like getting gear from raid as well, I probably could have gotten ahead, I think. But I don't know. It's not the end of the world. I get the tier like when the catalyst comes out, but
And that took a very long time to release too.
yeah, I forget. I think it was like 6 weeks or something, 10 weeks. I don't remember. But yeah, like it does feel bad when I'm just like I just have to wait for it. But so I might raid like the first few weeks just to maybe do like normal heroic clears. I was creeping on your radar. So you're 6 out of 8 mythic. I didn't realize that you were like a raider.
Yeah,
That's
it
pretty
was.
huge.
Dathia is probably the worst boss right now. Took us weeks to get that boss down. But we're on Broodkeeper right now, and we're close to killing it. We've seen all phases. We just have to survive that last phase.
Damn, that's legit. How long you been in the guild you're running with?
Man, ever since I met you, to be honest with you.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think that was like
Nice.
2020 or 2019.
Yeah, I forget. So I was trying to remember like where I met. Did we meet in I think Shadowlands, or was it BFA?
It was BFA. We got into a dungeon together a while back.
Word. I tend to add people that play like specs that, like people that are good at specs that aren't like the best spec. I always add them. I feel like that's probably why I added you. I know I feel like we ran some Halls of Atonements or like the other sides in Shadowlands here and there. I definitely remember a Halls. But yeah, it's funny. Me and Prey have you added, and Prey always says like, "Oh yeah, he inspires me. I can play BM." Even though now BM's like really good, but like a couple months ago, he's like, "Yo, Jump's playing BM. I could play it in this key." Yeah. And then someone in my channel, I forget who it was. Like I hosted you when I was done streaming, and they were like, "Oh, I know this guy from YouTube." I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Oh wait, okay, I remember now. All right, so I was getting into playing BM Hunter. I forget when. I want to say it was Shadowlands, and I was looking up BM Hunter stuff, and I like found your video, and then in your video, my friend James was DPSing on his warrior, and I just happened to notice. I was like, "Oh shit!" It was P Nitty. I don't know if you remember him, but he was a warrior, like human warrior, I think, or maybe it was an orc. I don't remember, but. Yeah, it was before you could queue cross faction for M+. Yeah, it's all coming back to me. Anyway, and then I commented, I was like, "Yo, that's my friend." And I must have added you on BNet or something.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like early Shadowlands, I think. Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. Damn. Dude, that's crazy that we couldn't queue with like Horde players for the longest time. How nuts is it?
Yeah, it's actually insane now. Cross faction guilds is gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem real.
It's so weird. I think it's quickly gonna be like, holy shit, remember when you couldn't be in a guild with Horde people or Alliance people? I don't know.
Right.
It's a good change, I think. I dig it.
it's been a long time coming. I mean, we do everything together according to lore, so we might as well.
Right.
I'm shocked it's been like this for a really long time. Because you got other games cross platforms.
Yeah, it would seem like it would make sense for them to like make it as give you as many people to play with to like keep you playing, but I'm glad that they're doing it. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, when did you start streaming? Like how long ago? And how's the journey been?
I started streaming during the pandemic.
Oh,
so 3 years ago when we couldn't really do much, and just started recording every YouTube video for M+ and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It took a really long time. Like, I'm nowhere near where all those big time guys are, but it is a grind, man.
Yeah, you're always uploading. Definitely admire that. Always go on, you'll have like a new run up. Check them out.
Yeah.
You had the one, I remember when I checked out your page, like initially the like BM Hunter. You had like one video that had a lot of views, like it was like 40K or something.
Yeah, that one was very shocking. I did not expect it to get that high.
It was like a mythic
views.
raid thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because I think that was Shadowlands Season 1, I think, where BM was not getting invited at all. And
Right.
the guild that I'm running with now, at first they wanted me to go MM, but I convinced them to let me play BM to see how it was, and I think I was the only BM hunter in that whole dungeon or raid fight.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since that, he has not asked me to change at all, to go to a different class. He asked me to play my Fear Warrior from time to time, but I'm just enjoying Hunter right now.
Yeah, BM is really fun. I've always enjoyed it. Like there's a certain freedom of like running around doing a lot of stuff. Like whenever there's like tasks that have to be done, or like we need someone to like run and soak this with like turtle, whatever, like it's always fun. It's been a very fun spec whenever I played it.
Right. And you just cast him moving, like that's so huge.
Oh yeah, like nothing bothers you. Like even now, I don't think, I mean, I guess you cast your trinket if you have the puzzle box, but like that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to quake you, like doesn't matter. You get hit by storming and you're in something, you just disengage. Like you have stealth if you run camo, which I'm pretty sure most people probably do. Camo's sick. Have you had do any tanks ask you to snap stuff in Algathar? Or is it not that level of degenerate yet?
They have asked me, but I told them that misdirect doesn't work, and they swear that I'm lying.
Okay, so I think it works, but it probably works with just what they want you to do, like the snap part. But like it's not gonna help them get threat in the key if that's what they're asking.
Right. It definitely saves a lot of time, but if you don't know it, then you're just pretty much risking the key for
Yeah. I'm not comfortable with that pull yet, but I was just curious if people saw an MDI and they're like, I'm gonna bring the hunter in and try to make him do it.
Right.
That's funny. We were trying to pull. There's some tech in there where you can like, with a priest, you can mind control a mob, and then you like give a buff to your team. We're trying to pull him through the wall to get him early. He's like in the upstairs area, but we couldn't figure out how. They did it in the MDI.
Which dungeon is Algathar, you said?
Yeah, Algathar. It's the mob's the restorer. Warrior's asking about MD. MD, I'm calling it dead because it's only your threat, it's not your pet threat. So if you're playing BM, then it doesn't really do a lot. But just to explain for Warrior, because he's asking. My old friend from BFA, who actually gave me the name Narnar, I think.
Oh, okay.
I used to be Nari, and he called me Narnar, or Narnosaurus. And then I switched it to Narnar, because Nari was weird. I had too many letters. I used to play Priest at the time.
Okay. And now you play everything. I can't do that. I'm not that good.
So, I'm not that good at anything, but I'm comfortable with a lot of different specs, I think, for like medium keys. But I think I want to pick like one spec one day. I always play Druid, so I think I'll just like try to play Druid more and not spread out my attention. So I feel like I could do like 20s on like probably 4 or 5 different specs. But like, I haven't really pushed like higher, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta put my energy into one spec, I think.
I feel like with Druid, you guys have like 4 specs, so one of them is bound to be good.
Oh, yo, Narnar Binks. Okay, that was my nickname, yeah. Remember now. Dude, I had a mage named Narnar Blinks. It was like Narnar Binks and Binks. But yeah, anyway, Druid. Yeah, I think I'll just commit to like playing Druid, because Bear is shit right now, but I could still like tank pretty good, like pretty normal level keys.
Right.
Like the keys that we do. Like, I don't feel like Bear really gives out yet. Like, I feel squishy as fuck, but like, as long as it's like, hey, we're playing with a Bear tank, like, don't expect me to not need healing. You can still get away with it. But I have definitely had healers like tell me like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like not a warrior, like you have to be aware.
Yeah.
But then other healers have told me like that they don't have to heal me at all. So I don't know. I think it's all just relative, I guess.
It's just word of mouth, man. I'm not a huge fan of the M plus community, because if one person from a very high level says it, then they just act like it's impossible to play around.
For sure. Yeah, well, that's true. There's this one group that the healer's named Aerith. I don't know if you know her. She streams. She's Eyelash TV. She's always on very late, so whenever I'm going to host, it's either I host you if you're on, or if you're not on, then she's the only one that's on, so I always host her. But she plays with Squish Vegan, who's like the #1 tank, I think, or sorry, #1 bear, I think. But they do like world first keys with the bear tank. So it's definitely like you could do it, but like I think he probably like has every time dilation like on reserve from the evoker, like just to survive certain pulls. Like it's something you got to play around, but it can be done. I think this season, as far as balance, is like maybe the best that it's been whenever I've played. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no question about it. Every class is good right now in terms of DPS. I can't say the same for healers though.
Yeah, I mean we did. Prey hasn't really been playing Holy as much. He's been playing BM I think mostly, and then he's been playing Discipline when he heals. But I mean up until like a couple weeks ago, I think he was playing Holy exclusively, and it was like fine. So even like that Holy's like in the gutter, quote unquote, like it's still fine for like 99% of keys that like regular people are doing. So it's really good. I'm very happy with it. You get into any PTR stuff?
A little bit. I didn't do any of the dungeon runs, but I definitely checked out the new changes when it came to the tier sets and see if we can actually get a cooldown and everything.
Right. What do you think of them?
It's still kind of early because the tuning's not there.
Gotcha.
I don't expect much changes, because if they don't tune these 2 cooldowns that I'm thinking, Call of the Wild and let me check my talents real quick. Call of the Wild and Blood Frenzy or Wild Instinct, then I feel like we're gonna run the same build going into next season. But I think the patch that they did with PTR is pretty much done, because they just released the date now. It's just raid testing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're probably like wrapping it up. I mean, it's like a month from now we'll be playing the new patch, and then I think like the season / like raid starts a little less or a little more than a month from now.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to, dude, I don't know what happened. I like bricked my PTR installation somehow, and I can't play the PTR. And I've tried to reinstall it like 6 times and whatever. So I'm just sitting PTR out this time. But I did, before I fucked it up, I was able to play some underouts and freeholds. I did like a 20 of each on the M plus PTR. It was before the new affixes, so it was just like fortified, whatever. But man, those BFA dungeons are going to be so lit.
It is.
I love underout. I love freehold.
Are you a fan of seasonal affix or non-seasonal affix?
I'm a fan of good ones.
Okay.
Awakened, I think, was like the coolest affix they've ever had, but Thundering sucks. And like specifically, I remember like when I was playing the PTR keys and then I came back to live, and the first time Thundering debuff popped out, I was like, oh god, what the fuck? And like I was just like, damn, like that sucks. So it made me think like I'm totally fine with them not doing a seasonal. Like if the seasonal is gonna be Thundering, then like just delete it, because I'd rather have no seasonal, just because it's more fun. Like no worries. But if they have a banger one, then like, you know, like work on Awaken for next season and have like a really bomb affix if you want. But if it's just gonna be Thundering, then like it's fine. So, I don't know. TLDR, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it makes sense. But now there's like bigger cooldown or affixes, like big time explosiveness.
Dude, the explosive is, I don't even want to worry about it yet. I hope they change it back. It looks cursed, man.
I mean, they don't even need to really change it back. I get what they want to do. They want to make it not just a healer thing, but right now their iteration of it is just terrible.
Yeah. Or get rid of explosive and put Grievous. Like, I think Grievous was really cool as a healer. I don't know. And then what was the other one they got rid of? They got rid of Grievous and something else.
There were 3 of them. It was Grievous. Oh god, what was the other one?
Yo, I should know this.
Shades and
Oh, Spiteful's gone? Okay. Spiteful Quaking.
I think.
Yeah, Quaking. I don't understand getting rid of Quaking. Like, I know it's been here forever, but it's not an affix that people really hate.
Yeah, it just... Yeah, I don't feel strongly about it either way, honestly. It's just kind of annoying. Like, sometimes you get locked out as a healer and you're like, fuck. And it always feels bad because, like, everyone has the Quaking warning thing. So, like, if you fuck it up, it's, like, completely your fault. You're just like, damn. Or sometimes they'd be those weird overlaps where, like, you'd get killed and you're like, well, what was I supposed to do? Like, not play the boss? Like, I have to stack and then we get quaked. So,
right.
Maybe they were just, like, looking for ones to get rid of, and that's one that, like, they had, because remember they had to code, like, Bone Maw to, like, despawn Quaking, that it didn't kill you. So maybe they're just like, that was annoying, like, just get rid of Quaking. We don't even like it. I think it was one of those. I don't think they got a lot of complaints. I think they were just like, it's not like no one cares about it, so we'll just get rid of it, I guess.
And Temple for Quaking and Storming is just a bad combination.
Dude, I almost think Storming's worse. Like, I think if Storming wasn't invented in Shadowlands, which I think is correct, like if it wasn't a newer one, I think they would have gotten rid of it. But I think they probably wanted to get rid of something that was older. Storming sucks.
Yeah,
It does.
Doesn't even make
I
sense.
hate Storming much more than Quaking.
And there's also no like once you get hit by it, you're also like helpless for this like fraction of a second where like you die to shit, and it just feels so bad. Because like it like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but like it should just deal damage to you and that's it. Or I don't know, because you get hit and then you're just floating like an idiot, and then you die to Thundering, and your team's just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I don't know, is it a tornado? It's not a good affix in my opinion. Holy.
Sorry about that.
You're good. Bolstering. I like bolstering though. I'm just looking up the thing on my other screen. Fortified bolstering. Like, Storming's lame, but bolstering this week is fine. It doesn't bolster bosses anymore, you know? Kind of owns. Thinking about doing some trash on the boss. Yo, what do you guys think about Algathar? You run in, you do the 3-pat like we normally do Drand. We kill the 3-pat. And then you leave the other pat and you do the whole room and you pull it like far away so you don't do the pat, and then you do the pat with the boss.
Oh.
Because they don't bolster. And because everyone's gonna...
Which pad are you talking about?
The 3 birds.
3 birds.
Hold on, I'm logging in so I can pull it up on MGT real quick.
You're talking about the tree room, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the 3 skitterflies, yeah. When Nar says birds, I'm like, okay, which
Dude, I can
flying
literally
thing
mean
in the
anything.
dungeon?
That's true. Okay, so yeah, I'm pulling up on the route.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's doable.
Because Otherwise, you wait for tree RP, which is fine if like your healer's got a drink or whatever. But
I also think
there's
this
no
week,
reason not
like
to.
as we kind of did in the run we were just doing, but I think to more for it, don't even pull the little worms when you're doing the RP on Veximus, and just kill the big one, and then pull all the little ones on the boss.
Oh, yeah. So I see what you mean. So like kill all this route's like scuffed. I'm just clicking whatever. But like kill these separate and then pull all the jumpers onto the boss.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a sick BM pull. You just cleave the shit out of those. That'd be ideal. Yeah, no, I'd be done. But yeah, alright. I think that about covers it for this week. Thank you guys for helping out. I think we lost DB because he had to go to work. Or he had to go on a work call, but yeah, thanks for coming, Jump.
Yeah, of course, appreciate the invite.
Always good to have the perspective. If you're running shit on your warrior and want to run some alt keys, definitely hit me up. I'm always like running random rat keys, or like someone's always on a rat. Like we got Deeran's gonna be on his paladin a bit, so I'm sure we could sneak your warrior in. I don't know what your warrior's gear is like, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Always running shit if you want to hang. I gotta go for like 5-10 minutes, but after that I'll probably be back on and maybe running time walking alt stuff or doing some keys if we got a squad.
Cool.
But yeah, thanks. And thank you, Deeran, as always, helping out.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Alright, I'll BRBs.